There exists a club whose red and black stripes once symbolized not just Italian football dominance, but a tectonic shift in how the game could be played. A club that dared to innovate, to excel, to dominate. That club is AC Milan. This is the story of Milan's golden era, how it rose, how it reigned, and how it eventually faltered. Stay with us. Let's wind the clock back to the 16th of December 1899, when English expatriate Herbert Kilpin helped found the club that would become AC Milan. He declared, "We will be a team of devils. Our colors will be red like fire and black to invoke fear in our opponents." Early decades, the club won its first Italian championship in 1901. Through the mid-20th century, Milan steadily built up, but the real international breakthrough came in the early 1960s. Under coach Arrigo, Milan won the European Cup in 1963, defeating Benfica at Wembley with Jose Altafini scoring twice. This was momentous. First Italian club to win Europe's top prize. This phase lays the foundation of club identity, red and black, San Siro, Rossoneri spirit, but more importantly, the notion that Milan were not just a domestic power, they could challenge Europe. After the heights of the 60s, Milan faced a period of relative stagnation. While they won league titles, for example, 1978-79, they drifted from the ultra-elite of Europe. Even worse, by the early 1980s, financial issues and on-field problems saw Milan relegated to Serie B twice, despite being among Italy's traditional big clubs. Turning point. Enter media tycoon Silvio Berlusconi, who took over Milan in March 1986. His vision? Turn this ailing giant back into world class. He laid the groundwork, financial investment, bold signings, and a radical change in football philosophy. This is where legends were made. In summer 1987, Milan appointed the then relatively unknown coach Arrigo Sacchi. Berlusconi bought world-class Dutch players, Marco van Basten, Ruud Gullit, and soon Frank Rijkaard. Sacchi's Milan were not just winning, they were redefining football. Pressing high, playing fluidly, defending as a unit. UEFA said, "We defended by attacking and pressing." Result? Serie A champions in 1987. Then back-to-back European Cups in 1989 and 1990, including the 4-0 dismantling of Steaua Bucharest in the 1989 final. After Sacchi, former Milan player turned coach Fabio Capello took over. Milan in this era achieved one of the most remarkable feats. In 1991-92 they won the league without a single defeat. They dominated domestically and ranged deep in Europe, including the famous 1994 Champions League final where Milan crushed FC Barcelona 4-0 in Athens. Why this era soared? A core of homegrown and world-class talent. Paolo Maldini, Franco Baresi, Alessandro Costa Curta combined with foreign stars. Strong club structure and investment under Berlusconi. Innovative tactics. Milan became the benchmark of modern club football. Golden stat. Milan became the first Italian club to win multiple European Cups in the modern era. And by the late 80s, early 90s was ranked among the greatest in Europe. Milan's golden era wasn't over yet. After Capello left, incoming coach Carlo Ancelotti appointed November 2001 steered the club to further greatness. 2003, they defeated Juventus in the Champions League final on penalties. 2005, they reached the final but heartbreakingly lost to Liverpool after leading 3-0 at halftime. 2007, they again reached the final and won, lifting the title for a seventh time. A key innovation during this era, the creation of the called Milan Lab, a pioneering sports science and data facility. This period shows that Milan weren't just relics of a past era. They could reinvent and compete at the highest level in the 21st century. Even giants have to face the twilight of dominance. Several factors combined to bring Milan's golden era to a plateau and then a decline. Key departures: legendary captain Paolo Maldini retired. Star players like Kaká were sold to Real Madrid and other stalwarts moved on. Competitive shift domestically. The doping-fixing scandal known as Calciopoli 2006 rocked Italian football. Milan were penalized, initially a 15-point deduction, later reduced. Financial and structural fatigue. Maintaining a world-class squad year after year demands enormous financial and managerial stability. Milan's earlier investments were huge, but as other clubs caught up and TV market dynamics changed, the competition got fiercer. Tactical evolution of football. Teams adapted to high pressing, zonal defense, counter styles. Milan's previous advantage started to be less unique. Result: Milan's trophy hauls slowed. They began to fall short in Europe and domestically. The golden glow faded. But the story doesn't end with decline. In recent years, Milan have shown signs of resurgence. The club won the Serie A title again in 2021, their first top-flight title in 11 years. Ownership changes and renewed investment. Milan are working to rebuild both infrastructure and squad. While they're not yet at the peak of late 1980s, 90s Milan, the foundations for a return to European relevance are being laid. Every era ends and every club must find a way to reinvent. Milan's story shows both the heights of greatness and the dangers of complacency. What made the golden era? Visionary leadership: Berlusconi plus Sacchi, Capello, Ancelotti. Investment in world-class talent plus integration of youth reserves. Tactical innovation and club culture. Milan weren't just strong, they were stylistically ahead. Stability and consistency over time. What broke the golden era? Challenge of sustaining dominance amid changing economics. Major departures and aging squad without equivalent renewal. Structural issues: financial pressure, scandals, regulatory changes. The football world evolved, others caught up, the margin shrank. The rise and fall of Milan's golden era is not just a football story. It's a story of how greatness must be maintained, how innovation must continue, how legacy is fragile. From the red and black stripes of Milan to the roaring San Siro Knights, from European conquerors to rebuilding underdogs, AC Milan's golden era remains one of football's greatest sagas. The good times, the glory, the heartbreak. But above all, the legacy. Thank you for watching. If you enjoyed this deep dive, hit the like button, subscribe for more football history, and tell us in the comments which Milan era is your favorite. Sacchi, Capello, Ancelotti, or the early years. See you next time.